She was she was a trip. She was, I mean, it was kind of two different ways for me. As the youngest, I was a little afraid of her. As I found out later, because our family was rich with stories, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this one, but my grandma Fraction was in a really serious train accident. I believe it was a train accident. And so she had been disfigured. Her one eye was basically stitched shut, so she only saw out of one eye. She still wore glasses. And she had a limp that I always remember that she just always had with her. And so she lived with us, and she was, especially very young age, she was the one that watched us a lot of times that I recall before my sisters would kind of take over that route. And so she was, when my parents would leave town, my dad would travel with work sometimes, and my mother would go with him. Grandma was in charge, and Grandma was in charge. She had I remember hearing stories about it, but then seeing it. I don't think I was ever victim of it. But at the dinner table, my grandma had this white patent leather belt that if you messed up, you were gonna fall victim to that thing. And she wasn't afraid to have it at the table. Somebody gets snapped under the table.
So you were the baby of the family, so...
I was the baby. I was the fortunate one most of the times because I ain't gonna lie, I knew how to manipulate some of my brothers and sisters. Jennifer was my bodyguard most of the time growing up. My brother, who's closest to me in age, obviously we would fight all the time. We shared a room. He's 4 years older than me, but we shared a room for quite a while. We obviously didn't get along a lot of the time, but all I had to do was just fake cry for a second. My sister was in the room, and so I witnessed her defend me quite often.
Well, your grandmother sounds like a strong, resilient woman.
She was. She didn't talk much that I'm aware of, again, because of my age at the time, but I would spend a lot of time with her. She loved watching all-star wrestling. That was her thing every Saturday morning, I want to say it was. She loved playing cards, where my oldest sister Valerie picked up. They used to play all different kind of card games with my mom and with other relatives who would come over to our house.